if you know, you will have brought the records. But you prepped for this interview, Reno. And secondly, what was the name of the executive you met there in Chicago State University? What was the name of the person, the exam records person you met?
Hey guys, a staunch supporter of Atiku Abubakar in the 2023 upcoming elections for presidency, Reno Omokri, who is a well-known bitter critic of Peter Obi of the Labour Party, was yesterday roasted on national TV. Yesterday was the 22nd of November 2022. The guy was so roasted. He was roasted. It was as if there was a meeting held before the main interview by AriseTv correspondents to roast the man live on air. So it was a calling interview. He had to, join from outside Nigeria where he is, which many people are wondering, if you are so in support of your candidate, Atiku Abubakar, why not come into Nigeria? Why not come back and really do the groundwork here for him to win? Rather, he stays abroad and continues to castigate Peter Obi. In fact, he went ahead to say that Peter Obi is the least academically qualified amongst the 18 people contesting for presidency. He also on air declared that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is the APC contender for the presidency, is a known, in his words, known drug baron and drug lord.
What's your problem with Peter Obi's academic records as indicated in that introduction? We all know that Mr. Peter Obi attended University of Nigeria, Nsukka, right? We also know that he has multiple qualifications. If I may throw it in, he was my classmate at the Sai Business School at the University of Oxford. So he has classmates who can stand up and say, I sat in the same class with Peter Obi. I can at least attest to that, okay? And then you say in the, as the introduction indicated, that even the APC candidates' academic records are more straightforward. What is straightforward? Chicago State University or Government College Ibadan? If you may just educate us.
Well, thank you for the question. Well, I made that statement in response to criticism from the Labour Party against the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress. And I said, if you look at all the presidential candidates, the least educationally qualified, the most educationally backward, if you like, is the Labour Party candidate. Rabi Mr. Congress, who has a PhD in water engineering, Waziri Atiku Abubakar has a master's with distinction in international relations, and Bola Tinubu has a second-class upper in accounting. And you have the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, who had a second-class lower in philosophy. And if you put that together, it's obviously the lowest. And so when they were poking fun of Bola Tinubu, they have a number of their surrogates and a spokesman saying that, he didn't even go to Chicago State University. I've said before, look, I do not like Bola Tinubu because I know for a fact that he's a known drug lord. However, I went to Chicago State University myself, physically, I went there. And I released photos. I went there to their exams and records office, and I asked them, and they did tell me that yes, Bola Tinubu attended. He's a proud alumni of the institution, and that there is no doubt, there is no controversy about it. And that's what I wanted to make known to the public. If we're going to be criticizing, we're going to do that based on facts, based on truth. Because we cannot be going after a man with dishonest information or with lies. And if you look at what Bola Tinubu has said, and if you look at what Peter Obi has said, Peter Obi, in terms of lies, he's told much more lies than all the other presidential candidates. I wrote an article, 11 major lies told by Peter Obi. He's told lies from everything from his shares at IBL, from meeting Peter Odili at school, which he didn't do, to American players dominating in the NBA, which was a lie, to saying that a company invested in, employed 60% of Anambra people, which was not true, to claiming that Bola Tinubu sent out anti-Igbo WhatsApp messages telling Yorubas not to vote for him. Look, we cannot run a presidential candidate with such dirty lies, a presidential campaign with such dirty lies. If you're going to go and criticize somebody, it has to be based on the fact. And that was just what I was trying to establish. All
right, thank you very much for establishing that. However, you must know that Peter Obi did come out to clarify the statement that he made, saying that he did attend school with Peter Odili, but not in the same set. Obviously, based on some of the representations of him online, he did come out to clarify that. That's one point to mention. So in terms of being taken out of context, would that be a case in your view? And then second of all, you talk about him being educationally backward. I'd like you to talk about the importance and when it comes to leadership in Nigeria, the requirement for a president is to have a school leaving certificate, and after which we have other leaders across the world who, Winston Churchill, Jacob Zuma, who have led successfully without having formal education. What is your take on this, and why are you so particular about this with Peter Obi?
All right, Reno, please, I'd like to get some clarification. You said you went to Chicago yourself. I will ask you, what Chicago did you go to? Is it the same Chicago, to get Tinubu's record, is it the same Chicago that now there's a case in court filed about the deposition that, a lawyer subpoenaed the school he went to, and they said they don't have any of those records. The records is submitted to INEC, the EC9 form, and there were even discrepancies on the date of birth of the person. So what record did you say you got of Tinubu from Chicago? Because there's already a case in court filed by Mark Enaro Ibe or something, one of the lawyers, and they were saying there were discrepancies as regards what was even submitted. So what Chicago did you go to? I'd like to know. And they confirmed to you as regards the veracity of that? And did they give you any document you can show to that effect?
Well, Rufai, you've got your facts wrong. The subpoena that was subpoenaed was not for Chicago State University. It was a subpoena that was sent to Deloitte. And then also there's been some document floating around in the internet about a college, something, I think it was South College or something like that. I'm not talking about that college, and for a fact, I know for a fact that Tinubu did not even go to that college, and Tinubu did not say that he went to that college. I know the college that he said he went to Richard Daley Junior College. However, I'm talking about Chicago State University. There's no subpoena from any lawyer to Chicago State University. I went there physically. I sent a photo of this to AriseTv. I think this was about a week ago when I was interviewed in London. I did a video while I was there. The Chicago State University Records Office actually released a signed statement, a notarized signed statement. It's public knowledge. It's out there. It's been carried by the paper. Look, like I've told you before, I went there. I'm not somebody just sitting down on the internet or somebody just relying on third parties. I went there. I physically went there. The fact that I went there is a fact.
Okay, Reno, please, I'm sorry, I have a follow-up. If you're finished, I have a follow-up to what you just said just now. So I just wanted to tell you in advance. So when you're done, just let me know. So I'll follow up on that, please. Okay, are you done? Let me just quickly give the follow-up. So Reno,
that's the thing, Rufai, you need to be able to control yourself so that when someone is talking, you allow them, because that's how this is going to work. I talk, you listen, and then you listen, I talk. There's going to be enough time for you to say you have a follow-up question when I finish talking.
But Reno, I thought you had finished, and that's why I even gave you the.
But I was still talking.
Hang on a minute, Reno.
When you interjected, and you have history of doing that. Anyway, now let's
Reno,
go.
Please finish your thoughts, then I come with my rebuttal, please. Just finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, you've interrupted my thought process.
Okay, so let me follow up on the rebuttal, Reno. And that's why I had the courtesy to be able to tell you that when you finish, because you paused for a bit, and that's why I interjected. So I will not just interrupt your thoughts. And all this game you try to play to blackmail me and say all sorts, that's how I behave. It's your game. I'm not drawn into that. I'm just a journalist and I do my job. And that's just to you, Reno, just to set you straight on that. This is the rebuttal I wanted to give. The court paper said that Tinubu presented a forged Chicago State certificate to INEC with the intent that may be acted upon as genuine. This is a new court case, and you can go and check the, the records of this. This is a new court case that was just filed as of the 16th of November 2022. So I was correct as regards a filing in court. That was just the rebuttal I wanted to give you, Reno.
Okay,
but you see, that's the thing.
Reno, can we move on?
Can I respond to that, please?
Go ahead.
You see, that's the thing. When you are a broadcaster and you have an interview channel like this, you need to be conscious of what you have said. I had no doubt about the court case. I never said, and you can replay this video. I mean, I'm sure your viewers at home can go back and listen to what I said. I didn't say there was no court case. You said that there had been a subpoena to Chicago State University, and that Chicago State University had denied that Tinubu did not go. And I said, look, I don't know about the college that's been floating about in the internet, which is something South College. And then also I know that Tinubu went to, can I finish, please? And I said that I know that Tinubu went to Richard Daley College. However, that there was a subpoena to Deloitte, and Deloitte had said Tinubu did not work for them, but that there was no subpoena to Chicago State University. The reason why I'm here being interviewed by you is because of Chicago State University. And I know for a fact that he went there. Chicago State University has released a statement, a notarized statement, which has also been published in the Nigerian media, stating that he went there. For any other thing, for Deloitte, for any other college, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm only talking about what I know. Tinubu went to Chicago State University. I do not like the fact that he's a known drug lord, but I'm not going to libel him. I'm not going to lie against him. He did go to Chicago State University.
Okay. Reno, I would like to express an opinion, and then we'll talk about other things, which is that the qualifications for the office of the President of Nigeria, as you well know, is properly spelled out under Section 131 of the Constitution, 1999, even as amended. And the definition of that qualification is CUSAT or its equivalent. The interpretation is in Section 318, as you already know. And if you look at all these candidates, really, nobody can really talk about qualification, except we go back to that Constitution, and we then say we have to raise the level of qualification. If you look at all of them, they will pass under the provisions of Section 131 and 318, right? And, I don't think there's any issue, in terms of the qualification, except we'll go back and amend that Constitution. But with regard to Mr. Peter Obi, now, maybe I would like you to interrogate other things. We had a guest on this program this morning, before you, Patrick Okibo III, whose group had just done a report. And they said, in terms of net favorability, that Peter Obi is number one among sample size of 2,000 in 12 states, these major states of the presidential candidates excluded, and that he is the most favored presidential candidate. Secondly, he himself had said that it's not about the number of certificates you boast of. It's about competence, character, integrity. And he has engage us with a 7-point agenda. If we can just focus on some of those basic issues, rather than whether he has a degree or he has a master's degree. Look, my mechanic can run this country. If INEC says it's okay, even if he fails school SAT, that's as bad as it is under the Constitution. So don't let us waste time on that.
So a lot of frenzy has gone on on social media. There's a lot of cyberbullying to try to force people who criticize Peter Obi to just, no, this man is not what he's telling Nigerians. And we've got to interrogate him, and we've got to allow people, because when you criticize Bola Tinubu, nobody comes after you. When you criticize Atiku Abubakar, nobody comes after you. But when you criticize Peter Obi, there is a huge mob. Look now, they've come out with a group that's saying that they want to force Charles Soluto to resign for criticizing Peter Obi. So if Peter Obi becomes president, is that the kind of Nigeria we're going to be living in?
Thank you very much, Reno. You talk a lot about the mob, the huge mob on social media that come after people if you criticize Mr. Peter Obi. Yet, going through your timeline on social media, it is full of criticism of not just Mr. Peter Obi, of course, of the APC presidential candidate. So you have actually reading on a campaign of attacking the personality of the people running for government as opposed to facing the issues, as has been encouraged again and again. So sort of you're also guilty of what you're queues, the mob that you talk about on social media. Why is it impossible for you to focus rather on your candidate that you're representing and the issues of what he wants to sort out, what he wants to address, rather than the personality or the person? You've called Peter Obi a liar.
Wait.
You've called Asiwaju a drug lord, and so many unprintable names you've spoken about with regards to candidates.
Well, that's not true. I mean, if you can tell me the unprintable names that I've said, please say it here. That is false, Ayo. I've not used any unprintable names.
Is drug lord a pleasant name? Is that something you can...
No. Please, can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Drug lord is not an unprintable name. If you are a drug lord, first and foremost, if you are a thief, it is not libel to say you are a thief. How am I going to tell you that if you are a thief, I'll come and meet you and say, oh, you are a nice person who diplomatically likes to take things that do not belong to you? No, you are a thief. Bola Tinubu is a non-drug lord. It's not an unprintable word. I've got facts to back it up. I've got documents to back it up. I spent my money. I went to Chicago. I went to the court. I got the certified true copies. Bola Tinubu is a drug lord. That is not an unprintable name. As for Peter Obi, he lied. And when you lie, you are a liar. That's not an unprintable name. In the United States, in the United Kingdom, I worked in Parliament in the United Kingdom, right on the floor of Parliament. If you lie, they call you a liar. It's not an unprintable name. And I address issues. Printable in what I've been saying.
Reno, I put it to you again, and I would like to give you an open challenge about your visit to Chicago, and Chicago told you that they had all the records. I would challenge you openly on that, and this is why I would challenge you. At first, you said that the subpoenas were for Deloitte, were not for Chicago University. Reno, you were wrong. In the court papers, in case you don't have access to it, the court papers by Enahoro Eba that was filed recently, he told his colleague, Mr. Matthew J. Qualls, a Chicago-based lawyer, who issued an attorney subpoena on his behalf against Chicago State University in case number 22L007289 on the 12th of August. Qual had in his subpoena directed the school to mail all the documents and records in possession that pertains to Tinubu and his educational qualifications. And it is based on that. In the suit, Enahoro told the court that copies from Chicago State academic record undergraduate and were letters sent to him, which were attached to him as a court exhibit. And it contradicts the material provided by Tinubu in EC9 forms submitted to INEC. So that's also prove you wrong. In case you do not know, Reno, there was actually a subpoena to Chicago based on the deposition of this legal paper. You can go and read the Vanguard of the 16th of November for that. It's not only the Deloitte that was subpoenaed, it was subpoenaed for Chicago, and this is based on that. That's why I challenge, what did Chicago University tell you, Reno, when you went there? Who did you meet? Who did you talk to? What papers did they give you?
Well, that again, like I said before, there was no subpoena to Chicago State University. An attorney cannot issue a subpoena. I've got a master's in law. I don't know what degree you have. Only a court can issue a subpoena to an institution.
If you know, you will have brought the records. But you prepped for this interview, Reno. And secondly, what was the name of the executive you met there in Chicago State University? What was the name of the person, the exam records person you met?
Like I said before, you can't be doing this. This is very unprofessional. When you talk, I don't interject. I allow you to finish. I'm very quiet. I control myself. When I'm talking, you should do me the same courtesy. It's wrong for you to just do that. I mean, I don't know why you do that. I was talking. If I'm finished, you'll be able to talk. I went to Chicago State University. I met the officer there. A statement was released. The media has it. It's been published before. And then when I was doing this, when I was asked to do this interview, I was not told that I was going to be needing to bring those documents. Right now I'm in Peru. I'm in.
Okay, look, we have now constraints of time. Let's leave Peter Obi, let's leave Chicago State University and all of that. Let's talk about your candidate, the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. He was in Gombe yesterday for a rally. Okay, he promised the people of Gombe State, and that axes many things that he would do if he were to win the election. But I found curious the fact that he was telling them, look, make me the next Tafawa Balewa. Tafawa Balewa was once Prime Minister of Nigeria. Let me be the next Tafawa Balewa. Why Tafawa Balewa as a role model? Do you have any idea? Because Tafawa Balewa, no. Yes, was a very decent man, very cultured, carried himself very well. But his tenure as Prime Minister of Nigeria was turbulent. And he presided over the chaos that led to the initial blowout that we had in Nigeria in 1966 and subsequently the Civil War. Why will any president come and say, well, Tafawa Balewa is a role model for me? I don't understand that part of Waziri Atiku Abubakar's declaration in Gombe. I can understand what he said previously at another forum, that he will continue with Obasanjo's policies, that he came out of the Obasanjo School of Politics. But taking us back to the First Republic, will you shed some light on that?
I'm so glad that you called him president, because I believe that on May 29, 2023, he's going to be president. However, you are misunderstanding what he said. Why he told them to make him the next Abubakar Tafawa Balewa is because Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was the last Nigerian leader from the Northeast. And so he is now running to be the next Nigerian leader from the Northeast. So that statement was telling them that, look, make me a Nigerian leader from the Northeast. So I am going to be the next person from the Northeast to be president or prime minister after Tafawa Balewa. He wasn't saying that Tafawa Balewa is his role model. No, he's not. He wasn't saying that. As a matter of fact, he said publicly before that in terms of Nigerian politics, he's got two role models. He's got Ahmadu Bello, and then he's got his former boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo. Those are his two role models. He said that publicly. But why he mentioned Abubakar Tafawa Balewa is that since Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was killed on January 15, 1966, till today, there's not been any other Nigerian leader from the Northeast. And he was telling them that, look, in terms of equity, in terms of justice, in terms of fair play, now is the time for power to come back to the Northeast.
Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you like this content. Please and please hit on that subscribe button right now. Smash on that subscribe button. Hit on the like button also. Drop a comment about what you think about this content, and please share the video. Help us grow on the channel. And also, if you want to support, there's a link to buy me a coffee, or if you want to donate to the channel. Let us grow together. All right, obedience, if you're in the building, please hit on that subscribe button, and whoever else you are watching, hit on that subscribe button. I promise to be bringing you premium content more and more. See you on the next one. Anatu Green here. Come follow me on social media handles at Anatu Green, on your different social media handles: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.